Hello, this is Paul Martin, and you're in the huddle.
All right, good job, Paul. Way to bring us in there, buddy. I'm Rusty Burton, and it's my old co-host, Paul Martin, and he's wanting to bring these young men a special message today. So I'm just going to turn him loose and let him put on the show. He's got a nice little story he wants to share.
Well, Israel's God's people. They always have been. They always will be. And God had promised them the promised land. But in order to get to the promised land, they had to take down some giants. And this story is relevant because in all our days, we're all going to have some adversity and some giants in our life that we have to conquer. But anyway, Saul and all his people, they were afraid of these giants, so God had to appoint his own special person to take the giant down. And the main giant was a giant by the name of Goliath, and he was about 8 foot tall. So God goes out to the sheep pasture and gets a shepherd boy named David, and he appoints him to go in there and kill that giant, Goliath giant. And so David goes out into the brook, and he gets him a slingshot and 5 stones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then he goes up, and I can imagine what Goliath was probably thinking. He was probably thinking, this little old boy right here, what nerve, what audacity for him to come in here and try to take me down like this.
We're gonna run over this little chump.
He's thinking, yeah, what he said. We're gonna run over this little chump. But before he can know what's hit him, David's done took the slingshot, got his stone, and he's reared back his slingshot, and boom, and
I'll drive it,
and into the throat. He goes into the throat. And down goes Goliath.
And he's down for the count.
And he's dead. Moral of the story, we got to slay the giants. Slay them.
That's right. The giants you speak of is Trousdale County. But first, we want to touch on last week's game. We're going to go back to last week's game and touch on some Celina, or whatever Reno calls them, Hey, we went up early night and had a good showing, Paul. What did you think about it? You was listening at home on the radio. And what was your take on the game?
Well, Braxton Givens, he ran the ball very hard. He ran very physical. He had 14 carries for 181 yards, so that's not a bad day at the offense. It's about 13 yards a carry. And our quarterback, Goolsby, last count I heard, he threw the ball for about 115 yards. So not a bad day at the office. If we can keep that kind of balance, we can win a lot of football games.
Hey, that's some pretty good stats. And sometimes you get some stats like that when you play. I'm not going to say Celina was terrible, but they didn't have a great football team. They really didn't show. Looked like they were kind of flat, And when you play football, you can't come out flat and expect to win.
But the fact is, we started off fast. We ran the ball well, and defensively, we played with a lot of intensity. We got out there and we hit them, and I heard that they had a lot of 3rd and longs, and that's really what you want when you're playing defense. Is you want to get the other team in 3rd and long and then you pretty much control the game, right?
That's right. Hey, 3rd down's where you win football games.
Right.
Whether it's 3rd and inches or 3rd and a mile, you got to convert 3rd downs on offense to win, and you got to stop them on defense.
Absolutely.
And, another thing you got to look at in that ball game, we pulled our starters at about maybe a series or 2 into the 3rd quarter, and a lot of those younger guys got in there to play, and hey, them guys played to the final whistle. They were still playing football.
Yeah, and even the Taylor Thaxton kid, he really impressed me because he come in and threw a pass right across the middle, and the kid just caught it, and I believe he could have run all the way to Lebanon, and there wasn't nobody on that team going to catch him.
Yeah, he was headed toward Lafayette, I believe, that night. That's where he was headed.
Point is, though, they wasn't going to catch him.
He's going to go down there and hit Highway 52 and be gone.
Right.
And Yeah, he was moving on, and you know the cool part about that whole story, them young guys scoring that long touchdown, is not just the fact that they scored on their starters, but their starters were coming to kill that little quarterback late in the game because they didn't quit either. And you know, sometimes you look at it, and somebody says, "Well, we're trying to run up the score." No, you know, when they're coming, that's the play you dial up, and it was dialed up right as you throw it over their head. And that young quarterback stood in there, and you know. You got Goliath coming to tear your head off. 5 Goliaths, Paul, coming to rip your head off. When you're 5'6", playing quarterback, do you stand in there and throw the ball?
Yeah, you do.
You gotta be David.
You gotta be David, and you gotta throw the ball over the middle and make them pay. And way to hang in there, Taylor.
He did. He come in there.
Way to hang in there.
He come in there and actually we dialed up a good play, and
I'd like to give a shout out to the coaches for dialing that up because we just got to be strong, man. We got to be strong. We can't let them people come in there and steal our land and think they gonna boss us around. So I'm gonna give a little props to the coaching staff for dialing it up, man.
They did. They dialed it right up, and hey, sometimes that's all you can ask for out of them younger guys is, you know, step up and play some football. And that's what they did. But anyway, Paul, as far as the Celina game go, Jay Baden, he had a lot of yards in that game too. I'm not sure his stats, but he put on a show. As Marino told you to bring you popcorn last week, and you know, we gave up a touchdown earlier that it wasn't entirely the team. I say the team. Of course, the coaches are part of a team. But we had a coach getting away and getting an interference call on the 4th down. And, you know, that give them an automatic first down. Then they go down and score because we had a little bit of poor tackling. And, hey, it's just mistakes you got to fix. We had a lot of penalties. And we're going to have to go fix that this week against Hartsville because I promise they're going to come to play football. And you got to play mistake-free to win those big games like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're 4-0 and we're 1-2, and if you're going to win a big game, you're going to have to bring your best game because if you don't and they do, then it's going to get ugly fast.
That's right. And what I'm trying to get to the point right there is, you know, we scored a lot of points and went up quick on Celina and still made a lot of mistakes, and we're just going to have to eliminate those. Some teams you can get away with it, and other teams, their mistakes are magnified. You know, hey, a 5-yard penalty in a game like Celina doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you're playing a team like Hartsville, it's going to cost you. And, you know, that's just the way it is. So, with that being said, what do you think about cutting down penalties? How are we going to fix that? Where do you fix that?
Well, I think that's just a mental thing, and I think the best way to fix it is just don't get in a hurry and don't overhype yourself and don't get so jacked up that you can't behave on the field. I think you got to just play at a time and don't overhype things.
That's right. You got to watch football. Now we had a young kid in there a lot that played. I think he jumped off sides a couple times, and you expect that from some younger players going off sides on a 3rd and short. And that's really just knowledge of the game. You have to know if it's 3rd and short, they're probably going to draw us off sides. And, you know, the young man's in there, he's just ready to go, you know. And I think that was big number 53, and he's going to be a great ball player. He's a go-getter.
Is that the Salisbury kid?
No, I can't remember that kid's name.
Anyway,
I'm not 100% on that. But
you've got to control that. And you've got to not get overhyped for the moment in time, and you got to wait on the ball to be snapped. And then when the ball's snapped, go all out.
That's right, you do. And just certain ways you got to look at things. Hey, some of them younger guys, we played a lot of younger guys the other night, and you do expect them to make mistakes. So Friday night, that's one of my keys to victory, just cutting out the mistakes and penalties.
Yeah. Let's have less penalties. Let's have less penalties. And another thing I think we need to bring up for the viewers is special teams. I mean, they've got an athlete on special teams. Trousdale does. You had the opportunity to go watch them, and you said Baxter kicked it to this athlete, and he went all the way.
That's right.
So I think one of the keys to strategy would be just kick the ball out of bounds. Don't kick it to them.
Well, maybe not kick it out of bounds. Just kick it to somebody else. Kick it short. You do
maybe even do a
sacrifice.
pooch kick, one of them up high in the air,
Back in the day,
kick up in the
stand up in
air
there.
things.
That's right.
But get down the field and make the tackle, kids, because they're fast and on special teams, and they always have been, and they got those game breakers. So
That's right, they do.
we gotta really play good special teams.
Paul. Sound like somebody's calling. I'll let you take that, buddy.
Hey, you've reached in the huddle.
Hey, man, Reno Bun here, man. You remember me, man? I called you last week. Hey, man, I was gonna tell you, man. We went up to Celina last week, and hey, we put on a show. I told you to bring your popcorn. Hey, you brought your popcorn out, and a lot of good people showed up there, man. Had a big crowd. I can't say so much for the other team, man. I don't know what they do up there on Friday night in Celina, but man, they went about 10 people up there for them, man. And I'm not talking about just 10 ordinary people, man. They had some monsters up there. Radio crew, man, showed a lot of fight, a lot of heart up there in the box. And I'm gonna touch on that here in just a minute, man. But our players played with a lot of heart, man. I saw some hitting going on out there. Not only did we have some big hits and big plays, but and the team showed some fight, but the coaches showed a lot of fight and a lot of heart to the night, man. And I'm gonna talk about one of the big bone crushing hits of the night. Came on a fourth down, man, and we had them stopped there a time or two. And hey, they go to punt us the ball, and they got a kid running close to the sideline, and even our big, tall, lanky coach, son, he put the shoulder into one of them and got us a penalty and give them a first down. That's kind of how they went down there and scored, you know. But hey, all in all, man, we had a good showing up there in Celina. Hey, when you got your coaches playing with that kind of heart, it carries over to your players playing with that kind of heart, man. When that coach put the shoulder into the old dude there and took him on to the mat, our little radio announcer, radio crew that does the broadcasting up in the booth there was up behind Celina's fans and said they yell out all the time. They hollered bang, you know, and boom or whatever. And one of them old boys, he was big. He was like about the same size as Yandre the Giant, man. And he stood up and you know, I heard the replay to this, and I think when he stood up, that guy was so big, he was going to whoop our little radio crew. He said, hey, you go and shut that window and shut your mouth. And, hey, our radio crew hung in there to the fourth quarter. If it'd been me, man, I'd probably packed up and got out of there. That guy was so big. But, hey, they hung in there all four quarters, and that's what you got to do. You got to finish. And, hey, when that old dude stood up, man, it must have blocked the signal back to 1041 because there's a part of it there that's just kind of missing. And I think that's when he was standing up blocking the signal. But hey, just like I said, man, we hung in there all four quarters. Even the coaches, the radio crew was even there. The fans was there cheering a little bit. And hey, our starters, man, they started out there and done a great job. Got a lot of points on the board early. And hey, our B team even come in there in the fourth quarter and was still hanging in there. Now, right there at the end, man, a lot of people say, hey, we might be, I think they're trying to run the score up. But no, man, you know what? If you got your starters in there and you coming after them little fellers on the B team, toss it over their head and do just what we did, son. And that kid was a blur going down that sideline, man. I got to give the quarterback, and the quarterback laid in there. He stood there in the pocket, and he's made a beautiful pass. That spiral was tighter than the banjo strings on my banjo, and hey, son, he threw it on the money, and that big kid caught it, and he was gone, so wasn't a man in town gonna catch him. But hey, man, I just gonna tell you, Celina, we put on a good show, man. We look forward to next week, man. I can't wait. But I'm gonna let you boys get back to talking about football, man. Hey, just want to tell you thank you for taking my call, man. It's about the second time I've called in, maybe third, I don't know, but I'll be listening, man. I'll listen every day. And I see you. Oh, Reno, we cut him off a little bit early there, Paul, but hey, he's always got some good insight, you know. Talking about not quitting. That's how you get it done. Don't quit. And our coaches didn't quit, and the radio crew didn't quit, and our team sure didn't quit.
Right.
So, I mean, is that a big part? Did you ever quit when you played football? I mean, would you ever think about quitting while you was on the field?
No, when I was on the field, my motor was going 100 mile an hour every play.
That's right, ready to hurt somebody.
And I think it all starts from the time you come out of that locker room. When you're playing on your home field, you've got to walk down that. Out that locker room, walk up that hill, and walk up on that field with the mentality. When you get on that field, it's time to hit these people.
That's right. That's the way it's done. The way it's always been done. All right, now let's just. We've talked about Celina game. That game's over with, and we've moved on. Hartsville. Let's talk about them. I know we talked a minute ago about their special teams, and
right, they've always got game breakers.
I went to the old Baxter game when they played Baxter, and they kicked the ball right to the kid they knew was going to take it to the end zone, which was just a mental error on either the kicker or the coach. I'm not sure he was instructing on who to kick it to, and maybe they wanted to challenge their kids to stop him. Sometimes, that's what it takes. Just challenge your kids and see if they step up to it. And obviously, the Trousdale County kid, he wasn't having no part of that and just took it the distance.
I think, like we were saying earlier, though, we don't kick it to him. We kick it short or we kick it out of bounds, but we don't kick it to him because it's just a bad thing that's going to happen.
I don't foresee us kicking him the ball. I don't. But, just like I said, sometimes you challenge your kids to make a play. And, an opening kickoff, what better way to make a statement than to hit somebody on opening kickoff and shut down a guy that's been returning. But on the other hand, do you take that chance? And that's just something we're going to have to wait and see.
Right. Now I guess we need to talk about keys on defense and keys on offense. First off, more likely if we win the toss, I see us deferring. So if we defer, first we need to talk a little defense. They're running the spread, and that's more or less a passing offense, but I kind of expect them to do a lot of running out of it because they got like an all-star backfield. So,
they're going to be a diverse football team. What you're going to see just from what I've seen up at Baxter, and I expect them to do the same thing against us, is you're going to see them throw the ball out to the flats real quick, kind of like we do out on the corners and get it to some receivers because they got some receivers that can move the ball in open field. And, you got to stop them guys. Their corners are going to have to play.
Yeah, break down, make a tackle.
That's right.
Don't let them have the extra yardage after, or don't let them have the yards after catch.
That's right. Get that yak stat in there. Hey, one thing I noticed that we do a lot, and it seems to be getting better, but we tackle a lot with our head down. And you can't tackle what you can't see. That's just an old football theory, and it's the truth.
So you got to keep your head up.
You got to keep your head up when you make a tackle. Right. And I was always taught to, you're tackling, you're looking at the hips because wherever the hips go, that's where he's got to go. And
well, I didn't play corner, so I never was covering anybody. But the thing is, I played a lot of nose guard, and if they're running like say they was to, now we know they're running spread, but say they was to give us one of them little old school wing T sets, just kind of go back and pull a Satterfield play out just because he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Say they was to bring one of them wing T triple option plays in, you got to get the fullback because the fullback's the key to the whole all of it. So you got to get in there.
They're going to run the option, but they're not going. I don't think they're going to run it from under center. I think they're going to be in the shotgun, run more of a speed option.
Right, and
he's still got options.
I still think though at nose guard, he's got to get push his way. He's got to push his way to the quarterback because
get penetration. And
I think the nose guards got the obviously he's got the shortest distance to the quarterback because all he's got to do is just push the center back and he's right there. So. I'd like to see some penetration out of the nose guard and see us come right over there. Get the quarterback.
We'll definitely be challenged on the front Friday night. I can promise you that.
But and then defensive ends, that could also be a key because you want to. You want to stand up strong on defensive ends for your counters and your reverses and your jet sweeps and all this. So we can't let them block our defensive ends. We got to stand in there strong and make a tackle.
That's right. You got to keep you outside arm free as the defensive end and turn them in. Let your linebackers do
I think as far as their passing game goes, and then maybe even some of their running plays, I think the nose guard and the defensive end could possibly be the two most key positions on that line, because if you can get pressure from those two positions, that old quarterback ain't got much of a chance.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think defensively, I don't know. It's going to be a challenge for us, but I think we're going to be able to stop them.
And something else, we might want to send the blitz on earlier downs, like maybe blitz them on first down where they don't expect it.
Maybe break out Reno's 12-man play. Sneak a little guy up underneath the shirt of one of our bigger fellas. That sounds like a good idea because we didn't have to use it last week, I don't guess.
Right. But maybe blitz on earlier downs, just something to throw their timing off.
I think they're going to be a diverse offensively.
We might even want to throw a few stunts in there because stunting seems to confuse the old line.
Oh yeah, I think you're going to see some of that. Our linebackers are going to have to step up and play. Sometimes when you linebackers and even our defensive ends, sometimes when they drop back into pass coverage, they get a little confused. And most of the time, those are the guys that are open. It's the guys that they're covering them. Your tight ends.
Tell us something. Is the quarterback for Trousdale County? Does this guy get rattled under pressure?
He's a good athlete, from what I could tell. He's going to sling the ball.
But when he's pressured, does he get rattled?
I really couldn't tell you that. I know Baxter did sack him a couple times, but he jumped out of the pocket real quick a couple times. So I think, with that being said,
can he run?
He can run a little bit. He's an athletic kid. The thing is, we're just going to have to keep him contained like the little kid from Carthage. He got loose and did some damage. When you start diving at people trying to tackle him, stuff don't go good. And
make a tackle.
Can't let him get loose. Keep him hemmed up. And sometimes giving up 6 or 7 yards is not a terrible thing. It sure beats giving up a 60-yard touchdown.
And the thing is, we might have to put Kobe Watts in there because when Kobe gets his hands on you, you're going down.
Yeah, I think our linebackers are going to have to play a good game.
Is that position Kobe's playing, or is he a DE? Tell me
he plays defensive. I think he plays defensive tackle a lot.
But he gets his hands on you, you're going down. That's for sure.
We got some good kids on that line, and they tackle well in the front. Now, where we've had trouble in the past, and it don't really scare me. They're going to be challenged is our cornerbacks. They're going to be challenged. Like I said, they've got to get to the football, them little quick passing routes. They're going to use like a little pick play basically in basketball. They're going to use it. We got to break down, make a tackle, because if we don't, it could be 6, just like snapping your fingers.
That's
right. The way I see it, we got to get off the block and don't let them get the corner. Keep them cut in and
right. Because if you can make them run to the inside where you got your numbers, you got an advantage. But if they ever get outside, away from your numbers,
they got a little bit of speed like they've always had in Hartsville.
All right. So that's defensively. Well, that's what we have to do to stop them. So. As far as offensively, they've only given up 13 points all year. So how do we score?
I think we scored just like we did last week, and other time we've scored, and that's run the ball. Even when we got down there toward the end of the game in Carthage, and when we was moving the ball well against Watertown, we was running the ball. And
defensively,
you don't have to score every play. Get yards, pick up first downs. And
defensively, are these guys pretty good size, or are they just little bitty guys? Their speed.
They got some speed. They're quick, and they are going to get at you
size. Though
I don't think they're that. They're not big. I don't think they're bigger than us by any means. But they got a little kid. One thing that stood out to me was a little kid down in Hartsville. I can't remember his number, but he was playing free safety or strong safety, and they run a little slant route, which I'll touch on that here in a minute on how we can beat them and how I think the game should go if we do this. And, I kind of think the coaches see this too. So that kid, though, if you run a slant route, he is going to hit you. So you buckle your chin strap on tighter and step in there and catch football.
Well, do they have a certain corner that people are picking on that's maybe a weak corner that we might be able to attack and get yardage and maybe even score on? Do they have a weak corner?
No, I don't really think so. I think it's
they short or tall?
Well, they got a couple taller kids and a couple shorter ones. But
do we attack? What you theory would show if we use one of our taller kids, like maybe a Jay Baden or one of their shorter guys, we ought to have an advantage, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think Jay could cover anybody on the field that they have,
and he could possibly.
And also, I think we got a couple other kids that cover. They play good coverage. The little washer kid sitting back there, Dakota, he's gonna hit you. So I mean, I think we match up pretty well with them across the board. Now, what we're gonna have to do, and this is how Baxter had they only give up one touchdown in the first quarter that Trousdale really had to earn, and they returned the opening kickoff, which probably should have never happened if you don't kick that guy the ball. Baxter had an interception. They turned the ball over deep in their own territory, and Trousdale scored on it from a short distance out. And then one time they actually drove the football on them. So you were looking at a 20-0 score early going into halftime, and
they really had 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, they had been productive and just got a few breaks. And Baxter come out that second half, and they did what they had to do to move the football, and they actually moved the ball better in the second half than Trousdale County did, I think. Baxter gave up a pick six late in the game that the score was really a little more lopsided than it should have been, and that stuff happens. But hey, how Baxter moved the football was they come out and they did hit those quick slants across the middle because they were spreading out, and you get to the second level and hey, you got a little running room, and I think with our running backs, if we can get to that second level, we will tear them up, and that's just my opinion.
I think we need to change it up just a few drives though, and maybe throw on first and second down when they're maybe not expecting it. And I even come up with this offense. I was sitting at the house and just kind of scheming up some things, like going into my little offensive coordinator mode, like I do from time to time. But
you're an offensive coordinator, man.
I'm not sure if we've ever done this set before. But I tell you, I think we need to put Jay Baden in at quarterback.
And run a little bit the Wildcat.
Put him in at quarterback and put Braxton right behind him, and let's run some option off of it. That way we got those two speed guys right there in the backfield together, and then they got to make a decision. Are they going to stop Jay or are they going to stop Braxton? But the fact is, if they make the wrong decision, we're going to the house with it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that.
So, Coach,
I think Jay would.
Coach, if you're watching this, I'll be watching. But
anyway,
Coach and all the players, if you're watching this, just throw one in there for old Paul tomorrow night. Get that old Wildcat.
I don't get into the whole who plays, what we ought to run. I just give my opinion.
But just run a little option, Jay and Braxton. Maybe a little Wildcat for old.
I like the Wildcat. We call it the Wild J formation. Another thing that we're going to have to do Friday night, and that's tackle as a team. Sometimes in the past against Trousdale County, and this is one way they killed Baxter when they were running the ball. Baxter really wasn't getting but 1 to 2 guys to the football. You got to get 5 or 6 to the football, and
yeah, it's a team game. You got to get in there, and you got to do about like to the Tennessee Vols did against Virginia Tech. You got to have guys just scrambling to the football, just do or die to go make a play.
That's right, you do. And hey, if we tackle well, I think we got them. I really think we can compete with them if we tackle well. And football is as simple, and I've always said this: football is as simple as blocking and tackling, and that's just as simple as it gets.
That's absolutely right.
So, phone's ringing. Paul, you gonna get?
Paul Martin, you read in the huddle.
Hey, Paul, man, this is Reno again, man. I thought about my 6th beer, man. I'm feeling good, getting ready for the game tomorrow night, man. Hey, I was gonna give you some insight on this Trousdale County situation, man. Now, I don't know if you've heard down there. But They got a good program, man. They got a coach that's been down there a long time, and he's still like the AD or something down there. He's gonna be inducted into the coaching Hall of Fame down there, man. That speaks volumes for football program. So that tells you what we're gonna have to do Friday night, man. We're gonna have to take this team with all seriousness, man. We're gonna have to maybe drink but hey, man, another thing, man, they got this backfield, man. Always got a good backfield down there in Hartsville. Back in the day, back in my glory days of playing football, man, they had the Harpers, man, and I tell you what, the Harpers, in my opinion, are the greatest father-son duo backfield in Trousdale County history, man. They was good. Hey, man, another thing. Three of their most popular sports down there in Hartsville, you can probably guess, is high school football, and high school football. Now, you know, that just tells you, man, we're going to have to come up with some new and nifty plays, man. I tell you what we're going to have to do, and this is just a play I drawed up here a little while ago, man. I've been thinking about this. We need to put some points on the board, man, because ain't nobody scored on Hartsville much, man. I think they've given up like 13 points this season, man, and they're undefeated. But hey, we got to come up with a good, nifty way to score, man. I think I got it figured out. What we need to do, I need to come up with a good name for this play, man, and get it up there and do some consulting with the coaches again, man. Reno Buns, coach consulting. Hey, I got a week's experience under my belt now, man. I'm feeling better and more confident. We still got the flying V that we can run, you know, on defense. Our offense is the flying V, and then we also we got that 12th man on defense we can run. But hey, I got a whole new play, man. And here's what we're gonna do. During the national anthem, okay, we're gonna go out there and kick off, or they gonna kick to us in the first possession we get the ball. It's the only time it's gonna work. We're gonna have to call up to the booth and get you disc jockey up there and get him on the horn and have him accidentally play the national anthem. Alright? And I'm hoping they'll all just sit down during the middle of that national anthem, and then we can say hut and run right over top of them. And maybe we'll call that the national anthem right, or national anthem left, and you know, maybe they'll just protest right there in the middle of the game, and we can run over them. I have a feeling that was gonna happen. And hey, man, that's all I got for strategy-wise, man. I ain't got no defensive strategy, man. We're looking good on defense. Maybe get, like I said earlier, man, get these coaches, get them some shoulder pads on the sideline, because they're gonna be taking some hits. If they're gonna put out the shoulder like that, they need some helmet and shoulder pads out there while they coaching, man. But hey, I'll call you guys back, man, maybe next week, and we talk about this big win we're gonna get tomorrow night, man. I got a good feeling, and
all right, Paul, we're back. I got to do a little finagling on the audio here. We're back from the Reno Bun call, and he's got this new statue, or not the Statue of Liberty, but national anthem right, national anthem left. Paul, what do you think? Is that going to work? Has Colin Kaepernick, is he going to be the demise of Trousdale County football down there?
I think the way they're coached, I don't think they're going to be sitting down nowhere. I think they're going to be standing up. But maybe though, they'll still be having a hangover after the national anthem's over. Especially if Paul Martin sings it, he'll have some tore up that they won't even be able to even concentrate. So that might be the new technique. Just let old Paul get it all screwed up, and they won't even be able to concentrate.
I have to agree with you on that, because I wouldn't be able to either. I'd probably choke on a hamburger if I was eating it while you were singing that. But hey, I'll seriously put in a good word and see if we can't get you up there to do that.
Nah, that's okay. But I think it might be a new play call.
I kind of like that play.
But anyway, if we get it all screwed up, the right person screws it up right good, then we might have them tore up.
Yeah. That national anthem deal, everybody's sitting out. I've seen the entire team sitting out, a few players on each team, and it's just getting out of hand. Somebody blowing something out of proportion. And
well, I mean, that is kind of on the subject of football. What's everybody else told their view on the national anthem? What's your view on it?
I have to agree with Sweeney's view on it.
I heard that too. Dabo Sweeney.
That's probably one of the best explanations I've heard, and right. My sentiments on that. That's how I feel about it. If you're going to protest, there's a way to. There's always been, and this goes back to digging a ditch. Whether you're digging a ditch, hitting a baseball, whatever you're doing, there's a right way to do something and a wrong way to do it. And I think he chose the wrong way to do it, and that's just my opinion.
He should have, if he wanted to protest, he should have had that protest, like he said, behind closed doors, and don't do it at the expense of the team.
I agree on that 100%.
Because then the media sees it and the people see it, and you just shamed the whole team, and you just took away maybe who knows how many people that would have watched them just because you disgraced the country and disgraced the team, and it's just bad.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Paul, in closing, if you had to pick a player of the game from the Celina game, who would you pick to be a player of the game?
Offensive or defensive?
Maybe one for each.
For defense, I'm gonna go with Tanner Billingsley. We talked about him on the show last week, and he stepped up there last week and made some great plays for us.
He almost got a hold of 2 punts, and he was trying. He had that big. If his finger would have been a couple inches longer, I believe he'd have had one of them, possibly 2 that I seen. That's not a bad pick. Well, what about offensively?
Offensively, I think I'm gonna give it a tie. I think I'm gonna give Jay Baden and Braxton Gibbons each a game ball because they both come in there and played hard.
There you go. I agree with that. I was gonna say Jay Baden defensively. He was all over the field making tackles, running the ball. I mean, just all in all, he was a good.
So we'll give out a couple game balls on Jay and Braxton.
My offensive game ball is gonna go to the entire B team. Because they scored a 93-yard touchdown on the starters,
right.
And the whole team. It's a team effort when you're really out there, and you do have certain players that stand out. But hey, those guys, they pinned their ears back and was coming after them, and they stood in there and blocked and threw the ball and did exactly what they were taught to do. And I think that just goes to show you this football program's got a bright future. So.
Yeah, we've definitely got some younger guys that's going to step up the next few years and do some great things for us.
That's right. I agree. Well, Paul, you got some sign-off line, maybe Stay Classy San Diego or something, like maybe a Ron Burgundy line.
In closing, I'd just like to say that trending on social media this week is Slay the Giants. So that's what we're going to, except it's not Giant. This week we're slaying the Jackets. So slay that jacket and go Big Blue.
That's right. Slay the jacket and, hey, national anthem. Show these people how to do it right, Paul. I mean, you stand up. Go ahead and stand up there. For the national anthem comes on, you remove your headset, and you put your hand over your heart, and you sing along if you want to, or just, stare at the stars and stripes. That's how you do it, folks. And, hey, we'll catch you next week on In the Huddle.